We have new leaks for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, this time relating to the next scheduled 7-star TERA raid. But don't get your hopes up too quick, because it might not be coming as fast as you'd like. So let's take a look at what this Pokemon is, when it might be coming, and what you can do to prepare for it as we move ever closer to the end of the current pool of 7-star TERA raids in Scarlet and Violet. Now, as most Pokemon leaks tend to start, this one started early Monday morning, on Twitter of all places, where we got this leaked image of the Spanish version of the Pokemon home calendar. And if you look, you can very clearly see that on the 26th through the 29th, we can see that Delphox TERA raids were scheduled to be in this slot, meaning that our next 7-star TERA raid after Chestnut was indeed going to be Delphox, but it was kind of a 50-50 chance, considering we only have Delphox and Rillaboom left. And if you look up at the caption up here, it says the Pokemon home calendar shows that the Delphox TERA raid event was scheduled from May 26th through the 28th. However, the event is not yet listed on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet news page and may have been delayed by the recent bug. So, real quick, for those of you that are unaware what the current bug is in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, one of the hundreds of bugs that are in the game right now, this one started during the second round of Chestnut TERA raids, as well as the Great Tuscan Iron Treads TERA raid events. Specifically the Paradox Pokemon. Players were going into Paradox raids, and because the Paradox raids were not coded correctly, players were receiving an item labeled as no item, which was causing their game to crash as soon as they left the raid, causing many players to lose just so many items. So many items. So Gamefreak decided to do what they always do, disappoint us. And they pulled not only the Paradox raids, but the second round of Chestnut raids as well, not even 2 hours into the event, leaving many players rightfully angry with Gamefreak for pulling this raid when this could have been an easy fix. Which brings us back to Delphox. Now, odds are we're not going to see a 7-star TERA raid this week, and the reason behind that is Gamefreak has been on a pretty consistent schedule with this game and 7-star TERA raids. You have week 1 of TERA raids, then a break, week 2, and then at the end of week 2, on that Sunday or early Monday, depending on your time zone, you get the announcement for the next 7-star TERA raid. Here we are, almost all the way through Tuesday at the time of release of this video, and no announcement for a 7-star TERA raid yet. So, with all of that information dump in mind, odds are we will not get a 7-star TERA raid until this bug is patched in-game, which there is a patch scheduled for later this week. Gamefreak may sneak this fix into that patch, meaning that we may be back to round 2 of Chestnut next week, or we may have Delphox starting next week as well. So with that being said, what can you do at this point if we know Delphox is coming? Well, I'll tell you exactly what you can do. You can start preparing for 7-star Delphox TERA raids. And if you're telling yourself, well, how am I going to prepare if I don't know what the TERA type is? Actually, we do. You see, Gamefreak has been using a pretty consistent strategy for the last, 5 TERA raids, meaning that we can pretty accurately guess what TERA type Delphox is going to have. And this one is going to be rough, because odds are Delphox is going to have a fairy TERA type. And that's where you guys come in. I want you to post down in the comments below your best builds and counters for a 7-star Delphox TERA raid with a fairy TERA type. And make sure that they're your best ones, because I'll be picking some of my favorites and either including them in some of my build videos, or maybe even making it into a build video of its own. But rest assured that as soon as the 7-star Delphox TERA raid is announced, I will have a video up for you guys with some of the best builds and counters that you can use to take on what is probably going to be the hardest 7-star raid we have ever faced. But that's all I have for you guys today, so make sure you get those builds together, post them down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later!